Hello, we are here with the American Sports Builders Association, ASBA. Really, we are here to talk about coatings overall, right? What's happening in the coatings world. So we have an expert, Jay, with ICP. Hello, my friend.
Hi, Heidi. How are you?
I'm so happy to have you here.
It's good to be here.
I got to work on getting my association names going here, but we'll get there.
There's a lot of associations.
There's a lot of associations, and we are just so honored to be here in the California Sports Services booth with ICP, really bringing this message to the industry, because I don't know if everybody really understands how wide coatings is, how important it is to the industry. So let's start with an introduction, and maybe if you could tell us who you are, what you do with ICP, and maybe a little bit about ICP.
Okay. So my name's Jay Dalbman. I'm the CEO of ICP. It's interesting, you and I were talking earlier about the crossover, and actually not a lot of crossover between this show, for instance, and IRE or World of Concrete and things like that. So ICP is a company that is a number of, it's been through acquisition. We are kind of a roll-up of coatings, adhesives, and sealants companies in the building materials industry. So all to do with the building materials end uses. California surfaces, California Paints was one of our early investments.
Right.
With that, we got the California Paints brand and some other house paint architectural coatings. We got the sports surfaces.
Right.
And then we've diversified from there. We have a lot of polyurethane products. And then we've got a whole line of roof coatings. And so roof coatings is one of our bigger segments.
Yeah.
And the Roofers Coffer Shop, we talked to you a lot about that.
Yes, we do.
And so we're really all about coatings. And it's interesting seeing some of the R&D facilities we have really collaborate. So we have some that used to be part of a roofing company, now they work on paints and caulks. And we have some that used to work on paints that help us with sports surfaces. So
we just had a contractor on here. Their company actually started out doing roof coatings, and then they went to tennis.
I need their name.
I know. He was just here, Lynn. We'll go find him.
Oh, we're going to go find him.
And it was so interesting. I said, are you still doing roofing? And he says, nope, we're just doing tennis courts and pickleball. Pickleball's big.
Pickleball's very big.
But I think it really kind of comes down to so much of our construction and built environment is really today around strong coatings, because it's really more about that restoration, that taking care of what we have, and ICP has just been a leader in that. Can you kind of talk about that overall?
It's interesting, yet another trade association, the American Coatings Association.
Yes.
It's like you were almost in the room. There was a board meeting maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and that was a lot of what we were talking about, is restoring, protecting, extending the life of materials, and how one of the persons in there, his father was in the coatings industry, said it's amazing how much you expect out of 5 mils, right? And so, it is varied. If you think about a commercial roof, a flat roof, a low slope roof on a factory that's reached an end of life or started to leak, you can take a very expensive option of taking the whole roof off, or oftentimes you can coat it. If it's in good structural condition, you can coat it and extend the life. It's very economical.
So true.
And then you have all the way to sports surfaces where we get to play.
Right, I know, and that's been one of the things that we have loved about working with ICP, because you really cover it all: parking garages, rooftops, building envelopes, sports surfaces, driveways. I mean, you really are
polymer flooring,
the whole 9 yards. It's protecting what's important out there. And I think what I'm seeing here with the contractors who are coming by is it's not just about the products, which is important, but it's also about really strong installers. And you seem to have that across all of these markets.
That is one commonality we have, and we go to market differently in our different channels. In this market, for instance, we often are contractor direct, just the nature of the projects and the sports surfaces. We have some distribution business. And you compare that to like a roof coatings business, we're primarily through roofing distributors. But at the end of the day, our products have to be installed. And a quality installation makes all the difference in the world. And no coating is going to really perform if it's not installed correctly.
Right.
And so yes, our relationship with our installers, our training, our loyalty programs are really important for us.
It is. Now, ICP, and many of you may not know this, but many of your divisions are international, and Sports Surfaces being one of them.
Sports Surfaces is probably our most international.
Yeah.
So we have a very large presence in Australia in particular, but then we actually do span the globe. And so we've had some good success with a product that came out of Australia called Cool Top.
Yes.
Which is really exciting. You've probably talked to Tom about that.
We love it.
And it's a pigment system that allows to really reduce the playing surface temperature.
Right.
And it really helps athletes. And so, and then it's not that dissimilar to using a reflective coating on a roof.
Exactly. And when you really think about safety, that is key. All those coaches out there, all those trainers, everything, all those athletes, and of course on the rooftop.
Well, and you're seeing more and more issues in tennis, with athletes and dehydration and having to, and heat exhaustion. So.
Yeah, it's so great. Okay, last question, and then I'll let you go. American Sport Builders Association. We're going to get that right.
ASBA.
ASBA. You guys are here. You were the first.
We were the first member.
First member. How important is it for you, for all of your brands, to be involved? Because I see it all the time, but I'd like everybody else, your involvement with associations across all of your industries.
Associations are one of those sort of pre-competitive, or it's a space where you can address issues that maybe one company can't address by themselves. So whether it's the ASBA, whether it's RCMA, whether it's ACA, it's you can address issues that are industry-wide, that are maybe governmental or common to the industry. You look at some of the issues we're dealing with in roof coatings with some of the states. That the legislatures are probably trying to do their best, but they don't always have the right information.
They don't,
and it's hard for any one company to do it. So you get together, you compete with your competitors appropriately, but there's times when as an industry you have to have a voice, and bringing a voice to an industry, and it's been interesting. ASBA has been around for a long time. We're very proud members. The ACA has recently gone through a big change with a change of a leader there, and it's been interesting watching him come in and having been in other trade associations and address coatings, and that tends to a little more skew towards the paint, towards the architectural coatings. But it's interesting seeing him interact with an industry and say, look, this is what you need to do more of as an industry. And it's fascinating. Yes.
Yeah, and really taking care of the customers, the end users, and the contractors, the installers. I mean, so it all kind of ties together. And I see you guys doing that all the time. So
good.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Heidi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I have to tell you, big deal here. This is pretty fun, and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Stay tuned. We have a lot more coming your way.